It's the Uneducated Educator back with another episode of Tuned In, where we talk about everything under the sun so that each one can teach one. Now, y'all know I get a little bit of music in before we start the show. So sit back for two songs and we'll be back with you. Use a winner, yeah, 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 yeah. From your wake up this morning, use a winner, yeah, yeah. Watch out, Dada. Give me love and life now. Everywhere is fine now. Oh, I say watch out, Dada. Bring one so nice now. One more good I ask for. Beside a one in front to go down and walk out. She the sun gets on and mind. She got the come and up to her. Cause life is short and tomorrow not sure. So live life is my life. Oh, trees in the unknown. Jump up and wave the gun now. Just have a girl with the man now. Whoa, cause it tastes so sweet. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna go home. Cause it tastes so sweet. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna. As you know, we'll be talking about Ashley Lockhart tonight. It's funny that one of the hosts' name is Ashley, but yes, this is a serious matter. We'll get into the show. I'm going to read a couple of facts about what happened with Ashley, and then we're just going to talk about general things dealing with domestic violence. Because this is a tragic story of how domestic violence turn out, how people can hide their representative, can hang out with you for so long before you find out who they truly are. So sit tight, folks. Here we come with the Ashley Lockhart story. Night, folks. Night, folks. How y'all doing? I don't know. We like 8:30. It's cool. What's going on, Ashley?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. Just trying to, live
I
life
love the
like
background.
life will live.
Okay.
Thank you,
I
thank
love the.
you.
Oh,
There will be shirts. There will be T-shirts available with this logo on it.
oh no, that's
There will
right.
be the hats, shirts. Got the merch coming out soon. So how you been?
Good, good. Better, busy, booked. No, I'm just playing. But that's good, right?
Okay, okay. Now, did you get Jamel back in school, or he's getting homeschooled?
He don't start till next week. He wants to go to school. Well, I don't know what he want to do.
Oh
Last year,
wow.
he wanted to go to school, and then when he went to school, he seen what regular school was like. He wanted to be homeschooled, but he went to the end of the year, so we're gonna see if he does better in the beginning. He thinks school is too long.
Okay. Who doesn't think that
Right.
school is too? But I always say school is an extension of home, where the children should be getting their life skills from someone other than their mothers and fathers, so that they can get a broad horizon about what's going on. So
Exactly.
now, did you hear about Miss Lockhart, Ashley Lockhart?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it, but you should give people a synopsis. You should give them a little rundown.
Okay, well that's what I'm going to do. So, according to Philadelphia Police Department, 34-year-old Ashley Lockhart was stabbed multiple times in the arm and neck. Authorities discovered the body of a Pennsylvania minivan riddled with stab wounds. According to the PA Police Department, 34-year-old Ashley Lockhart was stabbed times in the arms and neck, and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
Mm.
Now, through reading and checking some stuff out, her fiance, 34-year-old Raymond Thompson, is the one that stabbed her up. They have footage of him right before I don't they found out he's in a video from near the minivan. Now I heard that she was like, I guess she went to the store or something. He just jumped in there and stabbed her up. But now they denied him bail, which I do believe is a good thing to deny him bail, because if you could do this to the mother of your kids, you definitely are dangerous.
Okay.
Dangerous. Now she has 6 daughters, 6 of them. This is so heart wrenching. I mean, it don't make no sense. Now the ages of the daughters, I have them here for you guys. I mean, this is terrible. This lady has 6 kids with this man. The oldest is 10. She has one that's 8, 6, 5, and 4, and then she had a 5-month-old. Now
Mm-mm.
he was arrested for the and this is the part that really got me, really got me, sad, because they said police found Ashley's body with a knife stab and multiple stabs over her body. Surveillance
Wait,
footage
wait,
near the
sorry.
crime scene
You
shows a
broke
man
up.
dressed in black.
You broke up a little bit. The police found her body what?
Where did I break them? With a knife still lodged in her head and
Mm.
multiple stab wounds all over her body. Surveillance footage near the crime scene shows a man dressed in black shorts and a black tee opening the driver's door. He appeared to be holding an object in his right hand. The man climbs onto the driver's seat, leans into the passenger side. This footage shows the man moving wildly back and forth simultaneously. The video shows the victim tussling against the man through the tinted back of glass of the minivan.
Mm-mm.
Now, she already had an order of protection out against this dude. So, this is not the first, I'm saying, that he's been violent towards her. And what bothers is that these order of protections is really, I mean, how good are they if he can still track her down and attack it? Obviously, don't put no type of fear in someone's heart if they can still attack people. I mean, they told the paperwork usually tells them they have to stay a certain amount of feet away from them. I don't think it was a coincidence that he was where she was. I guess he was just fed up, you know. Now he's locked up. He's not getting any bail, and they have a GoFundMe up for the 6 kids. I mean, the family now has to take care of 6 children. Now, 10-year-old on down, you know, still can remember their mom. The only one who probably can get this with the least amount of scars would be the 5-month-old. I'm sorry, because they do have, you know what I'm saying. They the other ones. I mean, 4 years with your mother, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years. That is definitely enough time to establish a bond. You know, other than the baby bond and the 5-month girl, you know, she might not have too many memories, which is a good thing, you know. But she still has to live with the fact that her father killed her mother. You know,
Right.
how you feeling?
So
Yeah.
what you said about the restraining orders, right? Like it's with double-edged sword, because how you tell somebody to stay away from you if they don't know where you are, and, and that sucks because you have to tell them where you are in order for them to know they can't be over there, which is crazy and dangerous as hell because you don't want them to know where you are. And you know what I mean? So there's that, which is crazy. And then there's the part where it's like restraining orders don't do anything until pretty much they kill you. If you're not dead, then there's not much they can do to keep them away from you. And that's sad, really.
It's sad. What is crazy that people can continue to stay in a type of relationship like this with all this abuse and still try to save face or you know raise their family in these type of households. I mean, I understand that it's difficult being a single parent, especially with 6 kids. But the trauma that you put your children through just seeing you get abused will live with them for the rest of their lives. I know it's hard to get in. You know, if you ask anybody that's been in a domestic violence relationship, it seems like it's one of the hardest type of relationships to get out of. The love, I don't, the love for the person that's abusing them is just crazy. Stand for the life of me. Why would you want to stay in a relationship with somebody who's putting their hands on you? Now we can't get a, you know, everybody have a little fight in their relationship every now and then, but it don't get to the point where you know, black eyes and bruises and you can't people can't home with your house because you know your face is swollen. And I'm
Right.
pretty sure her family members, you know, were trying to help her get out of this situation because the way he killed her, it seemed so personal. Like the police, they said that they found a knife still in her head. Like this man had no respect.
Did
And
they
I
ever
just find
say,
that it's very
like,
hard.
did he ever have a reason why?
No, well, you know, we don't know all that information yet.
Oh, I thought maybe something.
He's being held without. So you know, nobody's. But I that he heard that she maybe have been cheating on him, and so that is one of the reasons why he stabbed her up.
Oh my god.
But the reason, the probably the most reason is that insecurity he just had, thinking that you know she was trying to cheat on him.
Right.
With 6 kids, what time does she really have to cheat on you? You know,
Right.
especially if you hawking her like the way it seems. You know, for you to be so violent to the person that did your children, there's something
Exactly.
wrong with you.
Like I
Definitely
don't think
something wrong with you.
exactly. I don't ever think there's a reason to be that way with someone. If you ever start to feel those urges, you can leave. It's okay. You don't have, like you can leave. If it's for an hour, if it's for however, if it's forever, whatever you gotta do, it's okay to leave them. There are other people in the world. Like once you get to that point, I start to be like, okay, is this a mental illness? Because it does not make sense. It's not making sense.
I mean, quite honestly, the first step in that whole situation to me is start finding ways to love yourself so you can get the strength and courage to get out of there. And with children involved in that with a relationship, you got to look out for them as well. Because,
Exactly.
children who's watched their parents, you know, be abused tend to get in relationships that of men that's abusive as well.
Mm-hmm. That
And
is
then the
true.
cycle continues.
Exactly.
Now,
Eh,
I was thinking about it, but how hard is it to pick out the behaviors in a person that would lead you to believe that they could be that violent? How hard is that? Do you think that like she gave him prior to her getting the order of protection, gave him a lot gave a lot of signs of abuse?
Okay. So I feel like there were signs, uh, and this is just from my past experience, right? I've never been in a relationship where somebody put their hands on me, but there's different types of abuse, mental, emotional, all that or whatever. So, uh, there are usually signs of something. And sometimes they're small. You go, oh, okay, I can ignore it, or maybe it's a red flag. But you're like, oh, maybe it's pink, or maybe it's yellow. Like you try to, because sometimes if you get enough yellow flags, that's a huge red flag. Like you don't necessarily have to have a red flag, but sometimes you get those signs, and then sometimes it doesn't happen until the end. Like in my situation, it wasn't until I said, okay, we broke up. You need to move. We need to go our separate ways or whatever. You could take all the time you need, but you need to move. Did things escalate and really get out of hand? Like he started stealing my stuff. Never did that before. 2 years, never did that. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's something pushes them. Not necessarily saying that it's the victim's fault. Of course, I will never think that the victim. Nobody deserves that. But sometimes it's things like that that make them feel like this person did the most detrimental thing in the world to them. And now, like they feel like an animal backed in a corner. And when they're back in the corner, they attack first, even though it's unwarranted and really ridiculous and clear overreaction. Because whatever she did was not worth her life. Like I can't imagine. She would have had to kill somebody he loved in order for him to. I, I don't even think that's justified, but still, then it would make more sense.
Who is it that she? I mean, we all live in reality, and a life for a life might be even in some person's eyes, but in reality, it just hurts more people.
I agree.
And what I wonder so much about domestic violence situations is why do people really choose to ignore those little flags, those little bursts of anger, those little inclinations that they can be very violent at times? What is it within yourself that makes you want to deal with anything like that? I
Because
find so many people, and a lot of people are not loving themselves.
exactly. That part they don't see their own work, they don't respect themselves. On top of that, they think that they can love someone else through the pain because that's what they want somebody to do for them, not realizing that one, you should do that with yourself first, and two, you cannot make someone ready to be ready to change. They have to do that on their own. They have to love themselves through their own pain, and it just doesn't help. But again, another thing is you don't expect that person to do that to you. If I tell you that I love you and you tell me to love me back, I'm going to think you love me the same way I love you. And I would never. I have been a wild woman in my life, but I would never do nothing like that. I will leave before I ever do something like that. And I would hope that whoever I'm with will feel the same way. Like, you know what? If I'm pushing myself that far out of character that I'm almost mentally insane, I need to go. And, you would think that that person would do the same thing, but that's not always the case.
I mean, now thinking about him, no matter what she did, was not his children enough to say, look, I can't take that away from my children because how would they grow up?
Right.
You got to, I wonder, like, what type of bad I'm gonna do some research and find out what's really good with this dude, because that don't make no sense. You know,
Right.
he not only ruined his own life, he ended the lives of his children's mothers early, and then he also ruined other 6 people's lives besides his family,
Mm-hmm.
and friends. His own flesh and blood. He hurt something that he used. What detrimental thing can any woman do to push a man so far? It's crazy to me. I can't see me getting angry at anyone enough to want to kill him literally.
Exactly.
Figuratively maybe, but not literally.
Exactly.
And
Like I'm
and
not. Mhm.
I mean, because some people do some real weird stuff. I'm gonna
Right.
call it weird.
I'm not that
I
type of
said I'm gonna
angry
call it weird, because that we can't describe something weird as a good thing.
person.
And what?
I said I'm not that type of angry person. When I get mad and I feel like, oh, all right, you trying to play me, da da da, whatever, you pushing me, I'm gonna show you in a different way. Like I'm a boss up. I don't do that. I don't got time to do that. I channel that energy into something else. Like, you know what? You wildin'. Let me go focus on my books. Let me write another book. Because this ought to be a bestseller with this story here. Like that's how I would do it. I cannot imagine I'm gonna go get a knife. Like that's not it.
Gotta be weird. A lot of y'all women got some snappy mouths on y'all. Y'all know a few things about the person and put it together in a way to allow it to sting, and that could be enough to drive you crazy. But killing is a whole different entity. That man really need to work on a lot of things in his life before he decided to pursue a relationship with anyone, much less put that type of people. It's crazy. And she has to, they were engaged. I don't know. They don't give us enough
Engaged
on the
with
story to say
restraining orders.
just was like out the blue or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. They said her fiance was the one that
Oh
they
yeah.
had in custody, and he is the father of her children.
I mean,
So, but I
sometimes
mean, when they found her body, she had a knife sticking out of her head.
her head, yeah.
You were saying sometimes.
Right. Oh, I was saying, sorry. No, I was gonna say sometimes like having kids is a lot. And I know that that can be a huge hormonal shift for a woman, but I'm sure that is a lot on a man's psyche as well. Having a lot, 6 kids. He had 6 kids with her. You don't even know if he had kids with other people. You know what I mean? Like they seem like their entire life was a whole bunch of stress on top of the domestic disputes. On top, you know what I mean? Like it just was a big, huge pile, and not that it was right. Of course, it's never right, but you can see the pot boiling depending on how stressful their life was.
But they say that he thought she was cheating, so they would, and of course she had an order of protection out against him. So
Right.
for me, one of the only other reasons to have an order of protection out against because he probably tried to harm her before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's the case, and y'all are willing to grant this order of protection, why not help her get farther away from him, like out the state, maybe? I know it's tough, ladies, but y'all in a situation like that, go ahead on to the precinct, away from stuff like that. You're worth
Right.
more than that. And there will be somebody out there that will love you for who you are. As soon as you discover that, you'll be able to tell people how to love, and also just exuberate a way for them to know how to love you. There's no shame in saying that you made a bad decision, and when it comes to the men, some of the men that you deal with. But if he's kicking your ass up and down the damn street, that's a good inclination to leave him alone.
Right.
I don't know if you watch P Valley, but they got what's this Mississippi? She's in a domestic violent relationship, and I don't know what it is. I feel like the guilt. keeps her there, and I can outweigh your sanity, because getting beat on will drive you crazy as well.
Exactly.
I know nobody don't want to raise by themselves, and they would definitely, if that's the kid's father, you would want them to be in their lives. But once he started acting crazy, it was time for y'all to step away from that situation. And it's so disheartening to see that she had to lose her life for other people to understand it. You know,
Exactly.
you gotta get out of that situation. You have to, for yourself, for your sanity, for your children, for their sanity. Because anybody that's that violent to the point of murder, they it's just when they're gonna kill them, how, who, you know what I'm saying? It's just when they're gonna kill them. And you understand that how
Exactly.
it goes. It gets to that point. So yourself, get out of that
Okay.
relationship. I friend,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying exactly. I
Oh
was
no,
agreeing with
I had a friend. I had a friend that was in a domestic violence relationship, and what really troubled me the most about it was that she was like 6'2" and he was like 5'9", so she was way bigger than he was. But that mental hold that he had, over her,
you. Right.
to make her fear him was crazy to me. But even if you stand up to some of these men, let's not just say that the only way violence is men beating on women. There are some women out there beating on men as well.
That is
Y'all
true.
women need to stop that too, because then
That
you
is
can't
true.
complain about them not want to do nothing for you if you're beating their ass. Who the hell want to
Exactly.
do something for you if you're kicking their ass? Come on now. They're gonna find
Exactly.
every reason not to come home, every reason to paint the fence, because they
uh,
mother or father or parent raised them right. They not hitting you back.
right.
And then you realize that what you missing when they going, when you find some of these other dudes who ain't playing that, just running you ragged because you gotta find a balance. I, I found the story so sad. 6 kids without mother, and definitely without their father, because he not coming out of jail no time soon.
Right. And if
So
he
they don't
did,
have
is he
neither one
even
of their
stable
parents.
to be around the kids?
You know how Americans, if they when they really going through his program, try to reestablish a relationship. And I believe it's up to the children if they want to know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The relationship at certain points in age. But why would honestly,
I
I
mean,
know that the ones that can know at this
right.
point don't like him.
I'm sure. I mean,
So
legally, of course, he might can get them back, but I meant seriously, like in real life, that legal is a technical term, but really, when you evaluate him, is he really gonna be fit to care for those kids? I know that some people can have their row and whatever with an adult and not treat children differently. Certain things that you do, like there are murderers, burglars, whatever out here that really can put themselves in like different boxes. And so there are some people in prison that are great parents as best as they can be. You know what I mean? Like it happens because we're multidimensional and we can wear different hats. But to do that, like were the children present? Like she just had a 5-month old. It just wasn't a thought. Those kids weren't even a thought.
which
And it doesn't seem like he's has the capacity to care
he,
for them.
but the oldest is 10, so pregnant at 20 days. So if they had their first child at 23, right, and been working it thus far, all the months, something with him he didn't work on to bring growth to their relationship, and that's why he ended up in that situation. As
Right.
time changes, you have to constantly talk to your mate when things are going on and you're feeling different ways. Men, it's nothing wrong with so and so's going on with me. I don't know what it is. I need to find the answer. Let's work on this together. Because bottling up all these animosities and frustrations and it's killing these relationships. Not only have to end up in violent ones, but unhappy ones. And there should be no reason for you to cheat if you found the one. I mean, 10 years is a long time to be with someone. And 6 kids, that's a lot.
Exactly.
You know, it's scary that you could be with someone that long and then they turn around and try and kill you. It's crazy.
Exactly. All right. So you want me to give you a story time? Let me give you a story time about how I knew it was time to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
As if I didn't ignore flags prior to this. Once this happened, I immediately knew it was time to leave. No, yeah, okay. So this was the first this was a flag that I ignored. One time we got in an argument and he banged on the wall so hard that his hand went through it. I said, okay, that's a little alarming, but it wasn't my face. So I ain't think nothing about it. Another time we got in an argument, and during, like you said, women and their words in my mouth is slick. I'm working on it. I don't know if I'm lying yet or not, but I'm trying to work on it. and I said something. I said, "Oh, you left me to go be with some dude or whatever," but I kept saying it, and of course, the way that it came off was it sounded like I was insinuating that he was a homosexual, and I knew how it sounded. That's not what I was saying, but I knew how it sounded, and I didn't care. So he threatened to punch you in my face. Guess what? We broke up. You gotta go. Ain't no way. I'm not waiting for you to do it. The fact that you said that you would do it made me believe you. Because why would you say that? I'm not waiting. You got to go. There's no way. That was that. I don't care how mad you get. You can't do that.
Like I always say, yeah. Well, once you hear that the person wants to be violent towards you or get violent with you, you should be planning your escape. And like I said, in regular relationships, there's an occasion where y'all might put your hands on each other. A lot of y'all women, uh, mouth again be slick, like I said, and some people's temperament is not all that tolerable for that behavior. But you could tell fast a person gets angry by little stuff. So trying big stuff would definitely fly them off the handle. Some people pick. Some people like that. Women like to get hit as a form of affection towards them. But that is something different. That is not like the everyday woman likes. That's crazy to me. I just try to understand the madness in a person's head because I know I've gotten angry enough with a few girls that I've been with, but never angry enough to want to kill them.
Mm-mm.
Angry enough to kill myself so they can see that whatever it is that they was trying to pull, you know, good for you, but I can move on with my life and do better, and that's basically what all it is. Is that everything that you learn in life should be a step towards your growth, and you should constantly be growing with all the information and stuff. I
That's
no
true.
reason. I don't see no reason to stick around with someone that can hit you, violently. Alcohol is another thing that plays a part in some of that violence as well.
Mm-hmm.
And people who drink, especially alcoholics, are trying to hide, or get away from something. And that's a big flag that you should recognize and try them to start to get some help because anybody can casually drink. A lot of people have a glass of wine every day. It doesn't make them out. Say, if you can't like miss a day of your daily wine, then yeah, you might be an alcoholic as well because you know having the need to have something alcohol alcoholic beverage in your system every day, it can be also a form of alcoholism because it's an everyday. But I mean, some people get sloshed, they get
Right.
drunk. At this point, they're pissing on themselves, getting hurt, and a lot of times that's what ends up happening to them is that they get hurt.
Exactly.
But if you notice that they drink and are violent, then that's a clear sign to get yourself away from that.
Yeah, that's true. And I've never been hit by a dude, but I can imagine that it hurts. And I'm trying to find out either. I'll be gone. I'll be gone like tomorrow. I will be gone with the clothes on my back. I don't. People be like, "What about my stuff? What about this?" I don't care. I will figure it out as soon as I get out. Ain't no way. I understand that it's hard because there is a lot of pressure and a lot of weight on you. Sometimes the people in your circle are uh judgmental and they're like, oh, he a good man, you better deal with it, and why would you do that to her, you're stupid for this, and da 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 da, you don't. A lot of people that end up in that situation don't have support. And then some of the ones that do have support are so tough on themselves that they've already convinced themselves that they deserve it, so they deal with it. So it
Mhm.
is hard, but let me tell you, I'm a runner, I'm a track star. I'm out. She gonna run away when it get hard, that's me, because ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm not doing that.
I mean, quite honestly, if I relationship children with a man beating on, they have to get me and them out of there. 'Cause there's
Right.
no explanation that's acceptable. So if your children constantly see you get hit, they might think that that's acceptable.
Exactly.
And you got to think like if they find that to be acceptable, they become bullies or easily to be bullied.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much of a chain reaction. Those type of behaviors.
Exactly.
What we want to do is protect the children.
Exactly. And it is really sad. Um, when children see you in that situation, because they do, even at a small age, they do end up, like, sometimes now, especially little kids, they pick up on subtle things. So like if they hear somebody talking with a certain tone or something, you can tell when they've been exposed to that kind of stuff, because they'll like tense up. Or if they hear someone talking to their parent like that, like their mother or something, they'll come running. You know what I mean? Like I've seen children try to stop arguments. They come and they try to hug both their parents, or they try to get their mom to come out the room or something. That'll, when they know, and it's sad when they know, they shouldn't have to be in a position to protect you, because you're supposed to be there to protect your kids. It's crazy.
A lot of these relationships, the men are as abusive to the kids as well,
Mm-hmm.
and these kids are getting beat on and smacked around because of their own insecurities. People,
Right.
that's why I always say that the best time for you to get into a relationship with somebody, a committed one, where you want to work towards it, is when you're ready. Work on yourself, know who you are as a person, and know what you would accept. Because
Exactly.
if you can get in a relationship with someone and the stuff that they do and constantly can get you angry enough to hit them, then you should remove
Exactly.
yourself out that situation. Because why would you want somebody to constantly bring you to a violent point in your life?
Exactly. It's
So to me, do they enjoy hitting on somebody? Is that relief? Is that like a good drug or a euphoric feeling to beat on somebody to the point
I don't think so. I
that you
actually feel
cause
like
them
it's
harm?
right. I feel like it's an empty feeling, and that's why they have to keep doing it. Stuff that's fulfilling, you stop. You get satisfied. You know what I mean? Like you gotta beat somebody till they unconscious. What made you stop? Like there is no, they're just, it's just an empty void, and they're using that person as a mirror to lash out on and take their insecurities, like you said, or whatever is within them, take it out on that other person. It never goes away, because that other person is really not the problem, it's them. So like you said, if you don't work on yourself, you will never get out of that cycle on both ends, as the abuser and the person getting abused.
And and this is also a good story to keep sharing and sharing and sharing and talking about and not letting this behavior go unspoken about, so that people could be aware. There's a lot of people sitting in the same situation right now, and there's always of domestic violence. It's just that you have to be willing to just move on. Love yourself, because you are worth it. And everybody should feel like that about themselves. They should always feel like they're worth it. They're worth the best in life. You know what I'm saying? So that they can get the best in life, and don't settle for the best. And the best in life should be the best for you. It's not what other people have or how other people have it. You know what I'm saying? But what's good for you and what makes you and content in your life. As long as you're happy with that and things are going the way you want it, because that's how you focus your talents and produce it that way or make that way, and then you should dwell in that and be happy about it. Bro.
Exactly.
In your life playing mind games and tricks and trying to hold you back, and it's different if you don't see stuff. But when you see stuff and choose to ignore it or choose to deal with it, that to loving yourself. If you're putting up with stuff like that.
Exactly.
No matter if there's other fish in the sea, you shouldn't need another person to make you genuinely happy. You should want someone with you that makes you happy. And happy, but you should also be happy. I was a lady today, and she just told me she don't have enough time for herself, because she has to take time out to take care of her children.
How many children does she have?
I say to Lee that I told her, but I told her, I said, look, you need to take time out to take care of you, those kids. If your mind ain't right, and at times when you do things when your mind's not right, you tend to take it out on other people, straight up.
That is true.
To be the situation, it's just how you're feeling in the moment. Some people are not going to understand and just breathe. Something, that's refreshing to you. Back and address the situation with a much clearer head and make better decisions. And that's all it is. Information helps you make better decisions.
Exactly.
That's why we each one teach one over here, because we want y'all to have enough information about things that's going on in life, so that you can make better decisions. Believe me, we're not telling people this. Just we informing you about certain situations for you to avoid. Yeah, he could be great for years and years and years, doing everything perfect, but as soon as certain things not going their way and you see how they handle the situation, you should address it right away. Address those behaviors right away. And if they continue, just go ahead and leave for your own sanity, your own safety. Because people do get to the breaking point where they're killing. Horrible. Horrible. I just keep thinking about 6 kids without a mother and father, and I'm going crazy. Like, that is bad.
Right. I feel like it's also important to like some of the things, like look at learn what the green flags are, because I feel like that's part of the problem. People don't know what's supposed to be happening in relationships. They think that it's trauma. Love is important. They think trauma is part of love. They think they have to suffer through depression or some other kind of mental illness that the person does not have a handle on yet or understanding about. They think that they need to be homeless with you, or broke with you, or have cheating, or like go through addictions. Like, some stuff people can work through. That stuff does not necessarily mean that you need to leave them, but you also need to understand when it wasn't the right time to be in a relationship for either one of y'all, or at least for y'all to be together. Green flags are things like being with a partner that communicates with you openly. When your partner has a ton of secrets or can't tell you anything about them, That's probably something to avoid. Your partner should be comfortable talking to you. They shouldn't feel like you're doing something to them by them telling you. They should want to tell you. You shouldn't even have to keep asking. They should want to share with you because y'all are sharing a life together. They should want to talk to you. Your partner should want to be around you every time you come around. Your partner acts like you're a burden or you shouldn't be there. You might want to step away from them because your partner should be happy to see you. Your partner should almost be like a puppy when its owner comes home after they've been gone for the whole day. Like it's jumping for joy. Okay, y'all should be best friends. Like that's the most important part. Y'all should be BFFs. You should be able to trust them when they're not around you. You should know that they're going to respect you, and they respect you so much in person that you know that when you're not around, you have nothing to, like, you're comfortable. That those are some things that people don't look for in a relationship. They got to check their phone. They got to know where they at all the time. And you should know where your partner is for safety reasons, of course, but not because you need to know their location and where they walking to every minute, or you know what I mean? Like, or because you don't trust the friends that they got. Those are not reasons to know where your partner is. Not at all.
About the insecurities that you have in a relationship and not openly expressing it is part of a bad deception. Because if you want this to work with someone, you need to be open and honest with them. And I'm telling you, the key to a great relationship is open communication. If someone does not know what you're going through, they cannot help you through it.
Exactly.
Straight up. And relationships does not have to always be sexual, just with people in general. If you cannot feel comfortable enough expressing yourself in a decent way, in a way that's not offensive to nobody, or to get your point across so they can understand where you're at in your mind, in your set, in your mentality, get and be able to express that to them, and they can't help you. They don't, because they don't know what's going on. So, one of the things about learning things about yourself is learning how to express yourself to other people. And nothing wrong with communication. And that's a big thing women are asking for in men nowadays. They want to communicate their, what's going on, so they can try and run alongside you guys, and try to about the relationship with you.
Exactly. And that's why I'm
so big on women go through this world.
Right. This situation right here is one of the reasons why I'm so big on communication. I don't want to sleep next to someone I don't know. How do I know you won't stab me or kill me or something? Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about you. I need to know you. I should know things. I should know what your goals are in life. I should know what your credit score is. I should know what you do with your money. What if you outside buying coke? I need to know. Like, I need to know these things. I don't understand. I don't understand how people be in relationships and don't get to know their partner. I leave. I gotta go. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you if you can't let me get to know you. We have nothing to talk about. Obviously, if you have to have your own separate life without me, and I don't mean we have to be together 24/7. I mean that when you come in, I can't hear about your day. When you outside, I can't talk to you while you're there. I don't know who you with. No, what? Well, you could go be single because we don't have nothing to do with each other. That's crazy to me.
Well, if you notice that a person can't give some of the things in the relationship for the relationship, that there might quite possibly be a relationship. Okay. You have to give up a little bit of things in the relationship to make it work, and people also got to accept the fact that you got to give some space. Like we always say, space in the relationship is a good thing, not so you can take the opportunity to sleep with other people, but just get back to yourself once in a while so you can bring your best self to the table. Straight.
Exactly.
Because if I just want to have you, should know, with a good friend and partner.
Exactly. That's true. Oh man, I feel tired.
You see, you running around doing lately that you so tired?
I just came back today. I've probably been home like an hour. I just came back from Charlotte
Oh,
to Virginia. Like I've been home an hour.
okay.
I got home right on time to get on the podcast. I had to
Charlotte,
be there.
Virginia.
Huh?
You said Charlotte, Virginia.
I said I came from Charlotte to Virginia. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, that. Let me see. How long was that ride?
About 5.5 hours. So not terrible, but
Mm,
I didn't
yeah,
realize
that
I was
ain't too
tired.
bad.
Right. I didn't realize I was tired until I got out to get gas. I said, "Ooh, boy, that hit me like a ton of
Mm.
bricks."
Well, what I even find fascinating is after driving to Butler, Alabama, anywhere closer than that, even be seem like anything. It don't feel like drive anymore. New
How long
York
was
used
that
to feel
like?
like a real long drive, especially when
Right.
you get on the Jersey Turnpike. You're like, oh, next exit 29 miles.
Right.
No, you know. But the
Exactly.
excitement of going back to New York, to see your family, food, for
Exactly.
the funds, it's fun that you get there. But that drive to Alabama, tough, boy, tough. Because you
How long
dropped
was the
in
ride?
both the Carolinas, hours,
How long?
12 hours and a time
Oh,
change.
oh yeah.
12
Oh,
and
that's
time change.
rough. That's rough.
And a time change. We went in a whole new time zone when we went there.
Mm, mm. That's rough.
Crazy. We had
Right.
to go through Georgia, Carolinas, everything going through there. It was low. I mean, I did it both ways too, there and back.
Ooh, you were a trooper.
Back back felt a little bit easier, but like they got
Right.
they had patches of storms on the highway, and you barely could see anything. Like,
God.
and then you go a couple of more miles, there's like dry. It never rained nowhere. It's crazy.
Right. That's crazy. That sounds crazy because what? I've never been over there. I've been
Yeah, and
5
then you
minutes
go
into
another couple of miles and it's pouring again.
Alabama. Mm-mm.
I ain't understand that delayed our drive a little bit as well, but I mean,
Right.
I like driving, I guess.
Me too. That's why I was like,
I
oh, it
also like
wasn't that bad.
to feel safe in my
Exactly.
I don't I don't want to feel like anything I say out my mouth may make you feel like you want to kill me. I was just going back, to what we were talking about. But
Exactly.
seriously, that is a very tough situation. And I
It
know a
is.
lot of women out there that's going through that don't know how to get away or let go. I don't know how to tell you other than just do it, girl. Just go, girl, because as you see with Miss Lockhart here, her life ended at 34, which is very young for a lot of people. And 6 children later, she's gone, and they have to deal with the repercussions of all this stuff. But y'all got to
Exactly.
take light into that situation when you're dealing with someone that you see can be very violent. It can escalate the worst.
Hmm.
Absolutely, don't be ashamed to walk away from some chick that's beating on you or downing you about because more times with when it's the reverse, the women are just more their mouths is just more fierce and they
It's
speak of
true.
them so lowly that they make them feel low.
That
and
is
and,
true.
and then they start to represent themselves as though they feel low. They with a little bit of confidence. Now, overconfidence is one thing, but the balance in confidence and a little bit of masculinity is probably attractive to a lot of women.
Hmm.
If you can balance that with open communication and loyalty, because that's I've been listening to Kendra G as well on YouTube, her single show, and a lot of these people out here talking to her are not for relationships at all. They're
That's
not.
funny. They don't
They're
know
putting
that though.
themselves in a position to be abused. I don't know why people are in such a rush to fall in and out of love. You should make it very precious, and you can protect yourself, from it. It takes time to find the right person for you, and if you're trying to go through so many people so fast, it kind of wears you down.
Right. That is true. But a lot of people, when the minute they start feeling lonely, that's it. Oh, who gonna hit my phone so dry? I need somebody in my bed. Who I'm gonna talk to? I'm tired of going out to eat by myself. Please. I'll be begging for a moment by myself. I don't understand that. Like, yes, I will take me to lunch. Yes, I will go to the movies. What? When my son be at school, that's it. That's it. I'm sneaking something in. I already have plans to be at the gym every day. Like, I have this time to work on myself, and I'm gonna use it. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I set goals. I use that time, like in a single life. I use that time to set goals for myself. Now, when I steal this hour, it's for me. It's for me to work on me. And the more I do it, the more I love it, and the more hours I have to do it now, because I just
Mm-hmm.
got to be so invested in myself. Like, I don't understand it. I wish more people
I
felt that
mean,
way.
to love oneself is probably the best thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely wish people felt that way as well too. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. But like I said, everybody has their time, and if you can be patient and wait a little bit, some things can be avoided. And that's basically how I feel about it. Like, we're giving you this information so that you can understand it. Look what happened with Ashley Lockhart. She probably thought that this guy was a great guy. They made it through 10 years and he took her life. A lot of people are in these relationships that it looks good on the outside, but if you're not opening your mouth and communicating with the person either, y'all really going daily, not even concentrating on y'all as well. You have to still have to do the stuff that you did in the beginning to become friends and
Exactly.
make the relationship so good throughout the whole thing. I know your metabolism slow. You're not as active as you was before when y'all first begin in a relationship, and a lot of complacency and comfortability gets into play. But you got to keep that up and in front of your mind that as long as y'all stay happy, everything you do will be positive.
Exactly. That is so true.
Another good thing is trying to hold yourself accountable, but being accountable for some of the actions and some of the things that you're doing in this relationship to not make it work as well.
Yes. Self-awareness is so important, and a lot of people lack that. They think that they are self-aware, but they lack it. They go, "Oh no, I don't do that. I do this, and this," or da da da, or you're the only person that needs to change. But you just list, you just deflected all these things that you actually do. So you can't even admit, like, you should. It's probably a good idea to stay away from someone that can't admit what they did wrong or own anything that they did. They can't ever say, "I did that. I apologize for that. I was wrong for doing that." If they can't ever say something like that, they're not self-aware. They lack self-awareness, and that'll make them. They'll have a hard time being in a relationship. They're not ready for a relationship. They can't even admit their own faults. You shouldn't feel a way about being at fault for something. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. I say, oh, I do some stuff in a relationship that I probably don't like. I told you my mouth was slick, but I don't have no problem saying that I admit that my mouth is slick. I apologize for da 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 da, and then I also work on it because I don't have the right to do that just because I lost control that one time. It's a constant daily choice to get up and be better, and a lot of people don't do that. They think, "Oh, I'm good where I'm at, so I'm gonna be this person, take it or leave it."
I just feel like if you want happiness in your relationship, you have to never stop working at it. So just always
Exactly.
be mindful of that. But one of those relationships that you really have mindful in is the one with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because just like if something is about to happen, butterflies in your stomach, you know what I'm saying? Your body will warn you something ain't good. You don't ignore those signs. Take heed to them, because you will protect yourself at all costs.
Exactly. I
But
agree.
don't overprotect yourself in relationships, because if you don't let nobody in, they can't help. They won't be able to know what's going on. I know it's hard to trust people because people could be so devious, but a lot of this stuff, reasons why you can't trust people is because you act the same way. To somebody being just like you. And I'm gonna say it right here, and I don't care what
Okay.
y'all. Yeah, if y'all don't believe
I,
me or not, but it's true. A lot
oh
of
my
the things
God.
that make us insecure is because we see the same behaviors in the people that make us insecure.
Exactly.
So you need to work
Yeah.
on that. You want to say you trust somebody, but as soon as they go to sleep, you're going through their phone. Come on, man. You don't
Okay.
trust them. You're
Exactly.
still insecure.
Life is like a mirror, and so many people, like you said, are scared that they gonna get the same thing that they give other people, and it's sad. You so scared you gonna get treated the way you treating the person you with. Like what? Then don't treat them like that. Why is that not an option?
Or just think about how you should be treating other people. And
Exactly.
you want to
Exactly.
reciprocate the same type of behaviors. So that's all. So, like I said, don't sit in your relationship depressed because the person is not accomplishing some of the things that they said they were going. Don't let them forget what they said they were going to do. Remind them. Give them do a little reason. Don't be overbearing, right? Don't try to force nobody to do anything, because nothing can really get accomplished until the person want to do it themselves. Straight up.
Exactly.
If they don't have the drive and go, you can't do it for them. And what end up happening is you get disappointed. So don't set yourself up.
Exactly.
You don't set yourself up for the disappointment. It's how you can be supportive, but don't be overbearing,
Exactly.
because then nobody gets anything done. And girl, you know what I want to ask you?
Hmm.
I gotta do a little bit of more research, but I want to talk about that. They got these guys that dress feminine, but saying that they want to date, but they're straight. Is this a new trend that I'm hearing about that
What?
we should be talking about on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we should talk about that on Sunday. I think we
Because I
need to talk about
mean,
that on Sunday.
denial is just not a representative, huh?
Right. Mm. So, before you said that, uh, Lord, you made me forget what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, and then see, okay, that's a good thing. That segues into what I was gonna say, right? Because we all have our standards. When you get someone, don't lower your standards or anything to meet them where they are, and then have these great expectations and get mad when they cannot hold up to it. If they say things in their own words and they decide that that's what they're going to do and they don't keep their word, then you keep it moving, because that was what they set for themselves, goals they set for themselves. And if they can't keep goals for themselves, they're not they can't keep their word to themselves, they can't keep their word to you. But if you come in with a bunch of expectations and things that you just decided that your partner was going to have to do, and you get disappointed when they don't do it, you did that to yourself. You don't have the right to just have these great expectations from another person and then be mad at them when they cannot meet them. That's your projection on them. They don't have to meet that. If your standards, they didn't meet your standards when you got with them, or over time they just don't ever meet your standards, and leave them alone and find somebody that is already that way. You can't force them, like you said, to be a certain way. That they are who they are. And when they're ready to make those changes, they need to be making it for themselves and not to please you. Because when you're gone, then what? They're just gonna revert back to who they used to be? Like, how does that work?
I'm, I don't know how that works. Like I said, communication is the biggest thing in a relationship. And if somebody's telling you they want to do something and you're not taking the steps to do it, support should be, if you could just be supportive, remind them, give them a chance.
Exactly.
But like I said, if you start doing plans for them and trying to actually map out the steps that they should take, they don't want to be pushed that much. They'll never do. They'll resent you for trying too hard, and you don't want that type of aura
Exactly.
or bad vibes, because nobody likes negativity. Nobody likes
Exactly.
negativity. Nobody, a lot of people can't take constructive criticism. They can't take any type of criticism. So you gotta be aware of the type of people you're dealing with. But the only way you can tell is if you talk to people and really get to know them. But every day you grow because you learn more. So you need to try and keep up with the person by learning just as much as they are. There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with asking a few questions, but don't be overbearing because then they might not tell you nothing at all. You gotta take your time and figure some of
Exactly.
this stuff out. But what you said is very interesting as well about lowering your standards to meet the requirements for somebody else. A lot of people have a lot of high standards, and well, a lot of women have a lot of high standards when it comes to what they're looking for in a man per se, but will
Mm-hmm.
settle for close to it,
Half.
because of the thought that they don't want to be lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could be in a relationship and still feel lonely, so that doesn't mean anything. Like I said,
Exactly.
happiness is within yourself, and then if you're happy, you can definitely make the other person in a relationship with happy to communicate, happy to be flexible, happy to give a little, happy to take a little. And, and,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes a long way.
Exactly.
So, any final thoughts on Ashley Lockhart and domestic violence?
Yes. And my final thoughts are: do not be afraid to leave. It's always going to feel hard. It's always going to feel like a task. Do not be afraid to leave if you need to. Also, don't be afraid to get help. Okay, all throughout the relationship, go to a therapist if that's what y'all can do. Go to uh a regular doctor, a regular physician. It maybe sometimes people need some kind of medicine to help them balance a hormone. You never know what anybody has going on. It doesn't hurt to get some kind of help, medical, therapist, whatever, support from your family, whatever you need to do. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be ashamed to do it. If the people shaming you, go find somebody else that's not going to shame you because those are the wrong people to ask for support. It's all right. Somebody out there will help you. That's it. That's all I got.
My, my final my final thoughts is definitely this, ladies. It's okay. We love you here on the Tuned In Show, and we will help support if you just need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Let us know. But seriously, my final thought is this: like these, there were signs. Please start taking heed to some of the warning signs. If he's put his hands on you one time in 10 years, that might not be too much of a warning sign. But if he's hitting you every other day, or every time you say something smart, or you're always getting into arguments, doing things to try and hurt you, being spiteful, stuff like that. These are warning signs that he's violent. And at one point in time, he may be able to uh, get angry enough to hurt you, enough to kill you as well. A lot of times this is not the first incident or second incident, it's the boiling incident, the point that neither one of y'all could take it anymore. So, ladies, instead of fighting such a bad battle, just leave it. There's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be somebody out there to help you. And anybody who in your family that you tell stuff like this to and they're not supportive or trying to help you get away, yeah, you need to stay away from them as well. Because should nobody force you to be in a relationship with someone that's hurting you.
Exactly.
Okay, now, if you like this content, like what we're saying, if you like to watch us, you have to hit that like button. It's free. That's the way
Mm-hmm.
that you have YouTube understand that we need to be in the algorithm. That our videos are saying something. Other people can see them and maybe they'll like their comment. Let us know what you think. But don't forget to hit the subscription button. You can hit the notification bell. It'll let you know every time we go live, every time we drop videos. And please hit
Exactly.
that like button. Y'all watching the videos, like the videos. You watching, like. Watching, like easy, but that's support. Wow. I was frozen for a second, but no, I wasn't like frozen.